Well, thanks for your time today, James. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I really want to just hear about your journey getting back into dating from where you came from. So we worked closely together. Wasn't it really all for that long? For all that long, it was about 6 weeks altogether, really, that we were on it to get you back into meeting new women and going on some dates. Before we started, can I just ask you, how were you feeling generally about your women and dating?
Lost pretty much. I didn't really know where to start. Felt pretty flat about the whole situation, to be honest. But because
Why
I
was
was
why was that?
I was in a relationship for quite some time, and it all sort of ended very abruptly. So the thought of dating again or just even talking to women, like I just really didn't have an idea how to angle it. And because I'd been sort of tunnel vision this whole time in a relationship, I never looked outside of that relationship. But so the fact that after nearly 10 years, I had to start seeing things differently and try to get back out there, I was really lost. I didn't know how to handle it. And I tried the online dating initiative for myself, and it was like pulling teeth. It was pulling
Right.
teeth, but yeah, yeah.
And so before we sort of crossed paths, like what were you doing? So you had a dating app that was just not really going anywhere and
Yeah, yep. Dating out wasn't really going anywhere. Didn't sort of know how to chat. Just chucked up any sort of photos. Just really didn't have any sort of strategy around there. I did what I thought was right, but that's not always
just
the
just
best
wasn't
way.
working, right? And
It
so
wasn't working, mate. Yeah,
and so how was that affecting your general confidence with women and dating at that stage?
yeah. I mean, a lot. It really did affect my confidence because I was just sort of lost out there in the universe. I didn't really know sort of what to do, how to play, like what's going on, like this world has changed. Yeah, so it definitely wasn't a boost to my confidence, that's for sure. It was the opposite. Yeah.
Okay. And was that sort of like what was going on there when you were thinking about it and thinking about trying to get into dating and stuff? Was it having any other impacts anywhere? Like, was it bothering you at all?
Listen, yeah, like it was definitely frustrating, and I felt jealous of other people, and yeah, and I know I said this word a bit, but yeah, I just sort of like felt lost and wasn't quite sure about how my life was going to progress to getting back to normal. Yeah, so it was a bit concerning, to be fair. Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah,
Makes
bit confronting. Yeah.
confronting. All right. And so did you have any specific goals when we started, like that you wanted help with? Like what did you want to achieve?
I just wanted to sort of start dating and sort of sleep with a few girls and possibly see if there was a relationship that would spark up. I wasn't ready to get back into a relationship straight away or anything, but it would have, I wanted sort of like the company of a female, and yeah, and just sort of go down that path really, just sort of get back to
Just
normal.
get back on the horse and get started and start
Yeah,
putting it all together again after 10 years in a relationship.
yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right.
Perfect. All right. And so how are things going now? Like how's your confidence to find, meet and date women as well as your
Yeah,
overall confidence now?
yeah, yeah. Confidence is pretty good, mate. The book's full, so yeah. So
Follow the problems?
yeah, exactly, exactly. So you know, being on the Sunshine Coast is not very big. So it's to the point where I'll go on a date or I'll be seeing a girl, and I do run into other girls that I've been with or seen. So I've got to be very careful about that. But right now I'm pretty happy. I've got a few girls that I see pretty regularly, which is good. And yeah, I'm good. I feel pretty confident with how things in my dating life and so
Well,
forth. So
that's
yeah.
awesome, man. So you're in the pool, you're meeting new women, you're
Mhm.
having some fun, going on some dates. You're not in any rush to kind of lock yourself in. You're just enjoying the process now, and it's going well.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, yeah, girls are wanting to see me during the day and so forth. So I've literally got to be putting it in my work calendar. Like, I've got to block out my time. So
Love
that
it.
happens. like they'll send me, they'll say like, you free this day, and I'll tell them my availability of the day, and we go from there. So yeah.
Sounds like you've got it all worked out, man. Got any, I know that you've had between us, we've shared some great experiences that you've had. Does any one particular experience or result come to mind as a highlight that you'd be open to sharing?
As in on like just some of our strategy that we've had on
with women or with dating. Like, was there anything that was particularly fun or exciting or funny or?
To be fair, is, sometimes, when I was reaching out to you, how to respond to this, how to respond to that, and you were coming back with some fucking crazy messages, and I'm like, no way, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. I don't want to send this. And you're like, just fucking send it. So I'm like, all right, did, bang. And then, got her on the hook straight away. And I was like, wow, I can't believe that shit worked, So to sort of, I suppose, to sort of sum that up is that, like, again, like, because I was only seeing this through a tunnel, like just normal. Like I didn't think outside of the box. So with your help, and being a bit cheeky with messages and playing that in a certain way, I found that really fun to sort of be creating and putting out there and sort of seeing what comes from it. But more often than not, it works, which is good, which is always fun.
That's great, man. Do you feel like you've learnt something deeper about the dynamics of women and attraction through that process?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. So I suppose before, when I was just sort of on the dating apps myself, I was just doing the normal thing, like, how's your day, blah, 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 that type of boring shit. But throwing out, different types of messages, intros, all this type of stuff, like I definitely get to see, and even in their responses as well, they'll say stuff like, you're funny, or you're not boring, or something like that. You know what I mean? So because of these responses, which has been good. Yeah, but definitely seeing more of a dynamic of the women and understanding more, how they sort of operate. Yeah.
That's awesome. Last question for you, mate. How do you feel now compared to before we started working together?
Yeah, great, mate. I'm confident. I have a plan. I'm in a position where, I've got, the apps are paused. I'm not really active on the apps as such, because I've got a few on the go at the moment, but that's how I like it. To be fair, I've got enough on my plate. So yeah, I'm good.
That's perfect, man. James, thanks for sharing your story. It's inspiring, man. And if there's another man watching this who feels uncertain if he too can have, some positive change like this in his life, James, what advice do you have to someone about making the difficult decision to ask for and accept help or not? Because I think a lot of guys struggle to ask for help, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Blokes do struggle to ask for help, especially in the dating world. Like, fuck, I had to sort of like, I had to really consider it. And then, one day I was just like, fuck it, let's just do it.
Well, that's true. We did, man. Like, we were in touch for like a number of months before we pulled the trigger, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly right. Yeah. So, I mean, just do it. Like, it's like you're going to come out with like a plan of attack, and you're going to learn. Like, there's a crazy world out there, and you only know a fraction of it, and if you want to meet other women, meet women and so forth, like you've got to know how to approach them and talk to them, because the world is changing. It's just how it is. So, and, for the sake of, some chats and strategy and so forth, yeah, I completely 100% encourage you to give it a go. And, if I can pump up your tires a little bit there, Dan, I mean, like, you were extremely helpful and responsive to my messages. Like, I would be sending you dozens and dozens of messages, how to reply, how do I do this? And you were just coming back with, good quality replies that would just keep conversations going with the girls, and you'd explain why to say that, which was really good. And again, that's what's been able to carry me through this and put me in the position that I am now.
Oh man, that's awesome. And thanks for the kind words. Anything else that you'd like to add, James?
No, I think I've said it all, mate. I'm really good where I am right now, and I did, before we sort of caught up and before I was sort of on the swipes, I did think this was certainly an area in my life that I needed to improve on. And as I said, I was worried and so forth. And I'm not worried now. I got this part covered.
So I guess, like, just to add on to that, it's like, women are an integral part of a man's life, right? And if it's something that's not working, it's kind of like this nagging thing that's going on. And I think you just highlighted that once you get it sorted and you get to a point where you're happy with, well, then you don't have to worry about that anymore. And now you can focus on the other things that are really important in your life, and just know that the rest of that's just ticking along.
Yeah, that's exactly right, mate. That's exactly right.
James, appreciate your time. You're doing wonderful things, man. And I'm glad to hear you're crushing it. Looking forward to hearing about some more successes from you.
Thanks, mate. No worries.
Thanks, buddy.